They were all dead. The final gunshot was an exclamation mark to everything that had led to this point. I released my finger from the trigger, and then it was over.
Max Payne. A game that left its mark on a generation of gamers and continues to hold a special place in my heart. Released back in 2001, Max Payne 1 wasn't just a third-person shooter, it was a gritty, atmospheric experience that blended storytelling, action and style in a way that felt completely unique. Today, I'm going to dive deep into why Max Payne 1 is still one of my all-time favorite games. I'm going to break this video into 3 parts: the story, gameplay, and atmosphere. So sit back and enjoy this video about why do I like Max Payne 1. And before we get too deep, I want to say a huge thank you for taking the time to watch this video. And if you enjoy content like this, hit that like button and feel free to subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out a lot over here. So thank you. Max starts out as a regular NYPD officer, living the peaceful life with his wife, Michelle Payne, and their baby daughter. However, everything changes when he comes home one night to find drug addicts high on a new substance called Valkyr have broken in and murdered his family. Overcome with grief, Max transfers to the DEA and pursues the source of the drug. 3 years later, while working undercover to infiltrate the Punchinello crime family, Max is framed for the murder of his DEA colleague and friend, Alex Boulder. During a secret meeting at the Roscoe Street station, now both the NYPD and the Mafia are hunting him, and Max becomes a fugitive. Max's first major encounter is with Vinny Gognitti, a sniffling enforcer for the Punchinello family. After chasing and severely wounding Gognitti, Max learns that the mob boss Angelo Punchinello is heavily involved in the distribution of Valkyr. Gognitti leads Max to Lapino, who Max initially suspects him for the frame-up and murder of his friend. But as Max dives deeper, it becomes clear that there is more powerful forces pulling the strings. As Max continues his investigation, he crosses paths with Vladimir Lem, a suave and charismatic Russian mob boss at war with the Italian mafia. Vladimir is unlike other criminals. He offers to help Max, supplying him with weapons and information in exchange for Max helping him take down the Punchinello family shipping operations. Vladimir becomes one of Max's few trustworthy allies in his fight against the Punchinellos and Valkyr. Max also encounters Mona Sachs, a mysterious contract killer and the twin sister of Lisa Punchinello, Angelo's wife. Mona initially drugs Max to prevent him from killing Angelo, revealing that she's on a mission of her own, possibly tied to her sister's situation. Despite this betrayal, Mona shows a complex connection to Max and reappears later in his life. Max finally reaches Angelo Punchinello, but before he can get his revenge, he learns that the crime boss is merely a pawn.
I told him nothing.
Nicole Horn, a ruthless CEO of a pharmaceutical company, Acer, orders Punchinello's death and sent her private army to finish off Max. It becomes clear that Horn was behind Valkyr all along, as it was originally developed by Acer as part of a secret government project to create super soldiers. The project failed, but Horn kept producing the drugs for profit and power. During Max's hunt for Horn, he meets Alfred Woden, a powerful politician and member of a secret society known as the Inner Circle. Woden reveals that he and his associate has been watching Max, and they want to bring Horn down. Woden offers Max a deal: take out Horn, and Woden will protect him from prosecution for murder and chaos left in his wake. Desperate and with no other option, Max agrees. Max fights his way to the top of Acer Corporation's skyscraper, where he confronts Nicole Horn. Along the way, he uncovers more of the dark truths behind Horn's experiments with Valkyr and her involvement in his family's murder. Horn had sent the drug-addicted killers to Max's home as part of a random test for Valkyr effects, making Max's revenge deeply personal. In the climatic battle, Max causes Horn's helicopter to crash, finally killing her and putting an end to her conspiracy. With Horn dead, the inner circle, though Alfred Woden, holds up his end of the bargain, clearing Max from all the charges and ensuring that he won't face prison for the trail of the bodies left behind. As Max is arrested by the NYPD in the aftermath, he reflects on everything he has lost. Though he has avenged his family's death, the victory feels empty. He's still haunted by the memories of Michelle and his daughter, and despite bringing Horn's empire to the ground, Max remains a broken man. The game ends with Max looking grimly satisfied, knowing that while justice has been served, his life will never be the same. Throughout the game, Max is haunted by visions, nightmares and noir-style inner monologues, which gives the game a unique, dark and gritty atmosphere. The story is mixed with themes of personal loss, corruption and conspiracy, making Max Payne a memorable and tragic tale of revenge. The graphic novel style cutscenes combined with Max's gritty, cynical narration from the late but great James McCaffrey. The writing was dark, poetic and sometimes even a bit over the top, but that's what made it so memorable. Max is very sarcastic, but also has some moments when he says some pretty funny lines.
Niagara, as in you cry a lot? He had a baseball bat and I was tied to a chair. Pissing him off is the smart thing to do. We come to you now live from the crime scene.
Who is this?
Right back at you.
I'm Angelo Puccinello here.
Angie, tell me, how much did Dime cost you? I bet it was more than his name.
Max Payne.
Right the first time.
Next up, the gameplay. Max Payne was a revolutionary for its time because of one thing: bullet time. Before The Matrix made it cool, Max Payne let us dive headfirst into slow motion shootouts, dodging bullets like a badass and taking down enemies in style. Remedy really did their homework, and it goes to show. In bullet time you can really see the bullets trail, and because of the slow motion you can also see the bullets come from the enemy's gun flying towards you. While a lot of the bullets fly all over the place, there will be some bullets that will hit Max, and for that you can use painkillers to keep Max on his feet.
The pills would hold the pain back for a while.
The game is pretty generous with the painkillers in the beginning, but in the end you can really notice that the enemies die a lot harder and the painkillers get a lot more rare. Max also has a lot of interactivity with the area he's in. For example, there are some maps where there's an alarm buzzing or music playing, and if you shoot it, Max will say a kind thank you.
Thank you.
There is, however, one small annoying thing in the game that I do have to address, and that is the weird spots some enemies are in. Sometimes enemies are placed in very annoying spots. Your best way to fight this problem is the F5 key. It's your best friend. Quick saving. And then there's the atmosphere. The gritty, dark and cold streets of New York are the perfect backdrop for Max to descend into madness. From the snow-covered streets to the dimly lit, dirty apartments and seedy nightclubs, the whole world feels immersive, almost suffocating. Remedy really did their homework by going to New York, to take pictures from the places and to get the real feel of New York. These pictures were also used in the graphic novels just to give it more of that raw feeling. The soundtrack and sound design added to this immersion. The haunting piano score that played during the key moments. It was a shame they only used the one soundtrack during the graphic novels. In the background you've been hearing all the music from the game, but here are a couple of songs you haven't heard yet. Now, not everything was perfect. I'll be honest. Some of the platforming sections, especially in the dream sequences, could be frustrating. I don't know about you, but running along blood trails while trying to navigate Max's nightmares was more of a headache than anything. But hey, it was 2001. A little jank comes with the territory, right? Another thing I loved was the variety of weapons, from dual-wielding Berettas to shotguns and Molotov cocktails. The game gave you plenty of tools to get creative with the gunplay. Each weapon felt powerful, and experimenting with different combinations in slow-mo kept the combat fresh. I mean, who doesn't love running into a room and clearing it out with dual Ingrams, right? It wasn't just about the action, it was about Max's journey, the emotional weight of what he's been through. And when those credits rolled, I remember just sitting there and processing it all. In the end, Max Payne 1 isn't just a game for me. It's a reminder of how games can tell a powerful story while delivering unforgettable action. It's a perfect blend of style, substance, and innovation. The noir aesthetic, the tragic story, the bullet time mechanic, it all came together. Even now, over 2 decades later, I still find myself going back to it. It's a timeless experience. If you haven't played it yet, you're missing out on a piece of gaming history. So, those are just a few reasons why I love Max Payne 1. But what about you? Did you play this game back in the day? Drop a comment below to let me know what your favorite Max Payne moment is. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.